What is happening inside the Vatican under Pope Leo XIV right now, and where is he taking the Catholic Church? In recent weeks, Pope Leo XIV has been sending a series of messages that reveal something important about his vision. From sacred music and the liturgy, to young people, migration, peace, artificial intelligence and church unity, his pontificate is increasingly focused on one central question. How can the Church remain faithful to Christ while responding to a rapidly changing world? Today we are bringing together the latest major developments surrounding Pope Leo XIV, the Vatican and the Catholic Church, and most importantly, what they could mean for the future of Christianity. On August 19th, Pope Leo XIV continued his catechesis on the Second Vatican Council, focusing on sacred music. According to Vatican News, he emphasized that sacred music should glorify God, give voice to prayer, and help the faithful grow in holiness. He also highlighted the importance of preserving the Church's musical heritage while allowing appropriate expression across different cultures. That may sound like a narrow topic, but it points to a much bigger priority of this pontificate, the renewal of Christian worship and participation. In another recent catechesis, Pope Leo described Sunday as the foundation and heart of the liturgical year and encouraged Catholics to participate actively in the Eucharist. The message is clear. The future of Christianity cannot simply depend on institutions. It depends on whether people remain connected to prayer, worship, the Eucharist, and the life of the Church. Pope Leo has repeatedly placed young Christians near the center of his vision. In his recent message for young people in Mexico, he encouraged them to embrace Christ, pursue holiness, and become witnesses of hope in a world facing violence, indifference, and a loss of meaning. During his pastoral visit to Assisi, he also met young Europeans and encouraged them to dream boldly and live their faith with courage. Pope Leo appears to understand the challenge facing the next generation of Christianity. His August prayer intention also focused on evangelization in cities where loneliness, anonymity, and social isolation can make it difficult for people to experience genuine community. His message calls Christians to find creative ways to proclaim the gospel and build relationships in modern urban life. But the Pope's vision is not limited to worship and evangelization. Another major issue is migration and the protection of vulnerable people. For the 112th World Day of Migrants and Refugees, to be observed on September 27th, Pope Leo focused especially on displaced children. His message highlights children separated from families, exposed to violence, and forced to experience the trauma of displacement. This continues a wider pattern in his pontificate, connecting Christian faith with human dignity and responsibility toward people who are suffering. And then there is one issue that could shape the future of humanity itself: artificial intelligence. Pope Leo XIV has made AI a major part of his public teaching. His first encyclical, Magnificat Humanitas, addresses the challenges created by artificial intelligence and asks how technology can be developed without reducing human beings to data, economic value, or technological functions. The Vatican has also established an interdicasterial commission on artificial intelligence, bringing together different Vatican departments to examine the ethical and social implications of AI. Artificial intelligence is already changing employment, education, and communication, and could influence healthcare, warfare, and the global economy. Pope Leo's approach is not simply to reject technology. Instead, he is asking a deeper question: what happens to human dignity when machines become increasingly powerful? That question could become one of the defining issues of his pontificate. Another major part of Pope Leo's leadership is church unity. Earlier this year, the Vatican took a firm position against the Society of St. Pius X after episcopal consecrations were carried out without the Pope's mandate. The Vatican declared that the bishops involved incurred automatic excommunication. This episode shows that Pope Leo's emphasis on unity does not mean abandoning church authority or discipline. His leadership is beginning to show a balance between dialogue and firmness. He appears to want a church that can listen and build bridges, while also maintaining its teachings, structures, and authority. That balance may become increasingly important in the years ahead, because Catholics remain divided over questions involving liturgy, tradition, church governance, and the interpretation of Vatican II. Pope Leo's own catechesis on the Second Vatican Council is therefore worth watching closely. He is using Vatican II to explain worship, participation, mission, and the Church's relationship with the modern world. And his latest message on sacred music fits directly into that larger project. On August 16th, he called for an end to violence against Palestinians in the West Bank and urged the international community to work toward a lasting peace. He reiterated the Vatican's support for a two-state solution. For Pope Leo, Christianity cannot be separated from the suffering of real people. And that leads us to another major theme: human dignity. Whether he is talking about AI, migration, war, poverty, technology, or young people, the same principle keeps appearing: the human person must remain at the center. This may ultimately become one of the clearest characteristics of Pope Leo XIV's pontificate. He is dealing with traditional Catholic questions, but he is also trying to answer modern problems through a Christian understanding of the human person, and the Vatican is already looking ahead. Pope Leo has a major apostolic journey to France scheduled for September 25 through 28, including Paris, Lourdes and Metz. The program includes meetings with civil authorities, young people, clergy, and others. Then in November, he is scheduled to travel to Peru, Argentina, and Uruguay, an especially significant journey because of his long missionary and episcopal experience in Peru. There is also a major signal coming from the Vatican about the future of peace and technology. The theme announced for the 60th World Day of Peace on January 1st, 2027 is Disarming Technology, Serving Peace, Politics as Preventive Responsibility. That theme connects several of Pope Leo's biggest concerns: technology, weapons, political responsibility, and peace. When you put everything together, a clearer picture emerges. Pope Leo XIV appears to be building his pontificate around several major priorities: deeper Christian worship, stronger evangelization, young people, human dignity, peace, church unity, responsible technology, and attention to people living on the margins. But the biggest question is still unanswered: will this vision succeed? The Catholic Church is facing enormous challenges. In many societies, religious participation is changing. Young people are growing up in a digital environment unlike anything previous generations experienced. Artificial intelligence is transforming the way people work and communicate. Wars and political divisions continue to affect millions. At the same time, the Church must deal with its own internal disagreements. Pope Leo is therefore facing a difficult task. He has to preserve the spiritual identity of the Church, while making sure Christianity remains capable of speaking to people living in a completely different cultural and technological environment. And perhaps that is why his recent focus on the liturgy is so important. Before the Church can convince the world to listen, it must make sure its own people understand what they believe and why they believe it. The future of Christianity will not be decided by one speech, one appointment, or one Vatican document. It will be shaped by whether young people discover faith, whether families remain connected to the Church, whether Christians become witnesses of hope, whether Catholics can remain united despite disagreements, and whether the Church can defend human dignity in an age of powerful technology. Pope Leo XIV is still early in his pontificate, but the direction is becoming clearer. He wants a Church that is rooted in Christ, serious about worship, committed to human dignity, willing to engage modern technology, concerned about peace, and capable of reaching people who feel forgotten or disconnected. The next few months could therefore be extremely important. From his upcoming international journeys to his continuing Vatican II catechesis, from his messages about young people and migrants to his concerns about artificial intelligence and global peace, Pope Leo's leadership is beginning to take a recognizable shape. So now I want to hear from you. Do you believe Pope Leo XIV is taking the Catholic Church in the right direction? And what do you think will be the biggest challenge for Christianity over the next 10 years? Declining religious participation, church division, artificial intelligence, war, or something else? Share your opinion in the comments, because this conversation is not only about the Vatican, it is about the future of millions of Christians around the world. And if you want reliable updates about Pope Leo XIV, the Vatican, Catholic Church developments, and the future of Christianity, subscribe to the channel and stay connected. We will continue bringing you important updates and explaining not only what is happening, but why it matters.